Have you ever wondered why things seem to get harder right before they get better? Why, just when you're about to break through, life throws everything it has at you. It's not a coincidence, it's a principle. See, resistance isn't a sign that you're on the wrong path. Resistance is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. If you weren't making progress, if you weren't stepping into something bigger, there wouldn't be anything trying to stop you. The very fact that you're facing challenges means that you're on the verge of something powerful. Think about this: when a plane takes off, it has to push against gravity. The higher it climbs, the greater the resistance. But that resistance isn't there to stop the plane, it's just part of the process of reaching altitude. The same principle applies to your life. The bigger your goals, the stronger the resistance. The enemy isn't fighting you because you're weak. He's fighting you because he knows you're powerful. He sees what's coming before you do, and his only hope is to make you give up before you realize what's already yours. Now, let's look at nature. When a seed is planted in the ground, it goes through darkness before it ever sees light. It has to push through the soil, through pressure, through struggle. But once it breaks the surface, once it reaches the light, it grows into what it was always meant to be. The seed doesn't resist the resistance, it pushes through it. And that's exactly what you have to do. But here's the thing: most people misinterpret resistance. They think obstacles mean stop. They think struggle means surrender. But what if resistance isn't there to break you? What if it's there to build you? What if the very thing you're facing right now is the proof that you're closer than you think? Picture a runner in a race. They don't feel the exhaustion at the beginning. They feel it in the last stretch. Their muscles burn the most right before the finish line. And at that moment, they have two choices: slow down because of the pain, or push through because of the prize. The ones who push through, the ones who refuse to let the resistance stop them, are the ones who win. The same is true for you. Whatever you're facing, whatever's trying to hold you back, whatever feels like it's weighing you down, it's not there to stop you. It's there to prove to you that your breakthrough is right on the other side. The resistance isn't the end of the story. It's just the moment before you rise. Fear doesn't show up for people who have nothing to offer. Fear doesn't chase after people who aren't going anywhere. If you feel fear rising up inside you, if doubt keeps creeping in, if you keep questioning whether you're good enough, smart enough, or strong enough, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're powerful. Think about it. Have you ever seen a thief break into an abandoned house? No. A thief only comes where there's something valuable. The enemy doesn't waste time attacking people who have no purpose. He only comes after the ones who are carrying something great. And what is his greatest weapon? Fear. Because if he can get you to fear your own potential, if he can make you question your own worth, if he can make you hesitate instead of move, then he doesn't have to stop you. You'll stop yourself. Fear is a trick. It disguises itself as a warning, but it's actually confirmation. See, the enemy wouldn't try to make you afraid of something that wasn't meant for you. He wouldn't whisper lies about something you weren't supposed to have. He wouldn't make you feel unqualified if you weren't already chosen. Fear is the proof that you're standing at the doorway of something significant. Look at history. Every great leader, every innovator, every game changer felt fear before they stepped into their destiny. Moses was afraid before he led. David faced fear before he defeated Goliath. Esther had to push through fear before she saved a nation. Fear always shows up before impact, because impact requires courage, and courage only exists in the presence of fear. The thing about fear is that it doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It whispers, what if you fail? It whispers, what if they laugh at you? It whispers, what if you're not enough? And if you listen to those whispers long enough, they start to sound like the truth. But they're not the truth, they're just the enemy's attempt to keep you from realizing your power. Fear is a parasite. It feeds off of your hesitation. The more you focus on it, the bigger it gets. The more you entertain it, the stronger it grows. It magnifies your insecurities. It reminds you of every mistake, every rejection, every moment of doubt. But here's the real trick: fear is powerless on its own. It only has the power you give it. It only grows when you feed it. And that's exactly why the enemy uses it. Because he knows he can't take your destiny from you. He knows he can't steal your greatness. But if he can get you to believe in fear more than you believe in your purpose, then he doesn't have to take anything you'll hand it over. Fear is always present at the edge of transformation. It's the last thing you have to walk through before stepping into who you were always meant to be. Struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is not an indicator that you're failing. Struggle is proof that you're growing, that you're stretching, that you're stepping into something bigger than where you started. See, if you were weak, the struggle would have already taken you out. If you weren't built for something greater, you wouldn't still be standing. The fact that you're facing struggle means that you have the capacity to handle it. And the very presence of resistance in your life is confirmation that you are stronger than you think. But think about how diamonds are formed. They don't start out shining. They don't start out valuable. They begin as simple pieces of carbon, just like charcoal, just like the black rock you toss into a fire. But there's one difference: pressure. Intense, unrelenting pressure transforms that simple carbon into something priceless. Without pressure, there is no diamond. Without struggle, there is no transformation. And just like that carbon, you are being refined, being shaped, being prepared for something greater than what you started as. Now, look at the way muscles grow. When you lift heavy weights, your muscles don't get stronger immediately. In fact, the first thing that happens is microscopic tears form in the muscle fibers. The muscle literally breaks down before it builds up. And in the healing process, the muscle becomes stronger, denser, and more powerful than it was before. But here's the key. If you don't push against resistance, if you don't go through the process, if you don't experience the struggle, there's no growth. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in struggle. People want success without sacrifice. They want growth without discomfort. But that's not how life works. Every great achievement, every moment of transformation, every level of success comes through a season of struggle. The caterpillar doesn't transform into a butterfly without the struggle of breaking through the cocoon. If you try to help it, if you cut the cocoon open, the butterfly will never develop the strength in its wings to fly. The struggle is necessary. It's the process that creates the power. See, struggle doesn't just reveal strength, it develops it. It forces you to tap into parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. It makes you dig deeper, fight harder, and push past what you thought were your limits. And that's why struggle is confirmation. It confirms that you have something worth fighting for. It confirms that you are on the edge of something greater. It confirms that you are being strengthened for the very thing you've been praying for. Most people see struggle as a stop sign. They see obstacles as reasons to quit. But what if the struggle isn't there to block you? What if it's there to build you? What if every hardship, every setback, every challenge is actually preparing you for something you can't even see yet? Because struggle isn't just about endurance. It's about transformation. It's about becoming the person who is strong enough, wise enough, and resilient enough to handle what's coming next. Fear is a gatekeeper. It stands at the doorway of your destiny, trying to convince you that you don't belong on the other side. Fear whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if it doesn't work out? It creates invisible walls around your potential, not by stopping you physically, but by making you believe you're already trapped. Fear is the ultimate thief because it doesn't take from you, it convinces you to give up what was already yours. Faith, on the other hand, is the master key. Faith doesn't negotiate with fear. It doesn't ask for permission. Faith walks up to the door that fear locked and kicks it wide open. Faith doesn't need all the answers before it moves. It doesn't wait for everything to be perfect before it acts. Faith says, I may not see the whole staircase, but I'm going to take the first step. And that first step is what fear works overtime to keep you from taking. Look at the story of Peter walking on water. The moment he stepped out of the boat, he was doing the impossible. But as soon as he took his eyes off faith and focused on fear, he started sinking. The water didn't change. The storm didn't suddenly get stronger. The only thing that changed was where his focus was. Fear blocked what faith had already unlocked. Fear didn't stop the miracle as doubt did. And that's exactly what happens in our lives. The moment we start believing the lies of fear more than the truth of faith, we start sinking in situations we were meant to walk over. Fear operates in logic. It only believes what it can see, measure, and calculate. But faith is above logic. Faith doesn't need physical evidence. It sees what doesn't exist yet and calls it into reality. When people operate in fear, they wait until everything makes sense before they move. But if you wait for certainty, you'll never take action. Because fear will always give you another reason why it's not the right time, why you're not ready, why you should wait just a little longer. And before you know it, you've spent years standing in the same place watching opportunities pass you by. Faith doesn't work like that. Faith moves first. It moves when the path isn't clear. It moves when the money isn't there yet. It moves when the resources haven't shown up. Because faith understands something fear never will. When you move, the resources move too. When you step out, doors that look locked before start to swing open. When you take action, the people you need, the opportunities you need, the solutions you need begin to align in ways you could never have planned. But none of it happens if you let fear keep you still. Fear and faith are both belief systems. Fear believes in failure. Faith believes in victory. Fear believes in lack. Faith believes in abundance. Fear believes the worst will happen. Faith believes the best is already in motion. And whatever you feed will grow. If you feed fear with hesitation, doubt, and overthinking, it will get stronger. If you feed faith with action, courage, and persistence, it will get stronger. The choice isn't whether fear will show up, it always does. The choice is whether you'll let it block you or whether you'll use faith to walk right through it. Obstacles aren't designed to stop you, they're designed to show you what you're made of. Every time you face a challenge, it's not just about the problem in front of you. It's about the preparation within you. See, people think obstacles are roadblocks, but in reality, they are tests. They are measuring sticks to see if you are truly ready for the level you are trying to reach. Because every new level demands a stronger version of you, a wiser version of you, a more disciplined version of you. And you don't become that version without going through some tests. Think about it. Would you trust a pilot who never went through turbulence? Would you put your life in the hands of a doctor who never faced a tough surgery? No. Because you know that real skill, real confidence, and real expertise come through adversity. You don't learn how to lead by avoiding problems. You don't become strong by dodging difficulty. You become strong by proving through obstacles that you have what it takes to keep going. The problem is most people misread obstacles. They think obstacles mean turn back. They think challenges mean this wasn't meant for me. But what if the obstacle isn't a sign to quit? What if it's actually a test to see if you're qualified for the next stage? Because success isn't just about what you want, it's about what you can handle. And before life hands you something bigger, it wants to know if you're ready to carry it. And that's exactly what's happening in your life. The obstacles aren't random. The challenges aren't meaningless. They are positioning you, stretching you, developing you. They are teaching you how to handle the weight of your calling. See, most people want success, but they don't want the struggle that builds the character necessary to maintain it. Most people want the blessing, but they don't want the opposition that strengthens their faith to hold on to it. But you can't have one without the other. Because the truth is, the enemy doesn't attack people who aren't a problem. He doesn't fight against people who aren't making a difference. So, if you're facing opposition, if you're dealing with resistance, if you feel like every time you take a step forward, something tries to push you back, it's not a sign that you're losing. It's confirmation that you're winning. It's proof that you're stepping into something powerful. It's evidence that you are a threat to the forces that want to keep you small. And the only way to weigh is to let the opposition make you quit. Because opposition isn't designed to stop you, it's designed to reveal you. It's designed to test whether you truly believe in what you're fighting for. It's designed to see if you'll stand firm when everything in you wants to give up. It's designed to push you to a level of faith, strength, and determination that nothing can shake. Because when you understand that opposition is proof of your position, you don't shrink back, you rise up. Every great victory is preceded by a great battle. Every major breakthrough is guarded by resistance. Every level of success comes with a season of struggle. That's the pattern of life. That's the law of progress. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think the battle means they're losing, when in reality, the battle is proof that they're about to win. See, battles don't come when you're standing still. Battles come when you're advancing. The moment you start making real moves, the moment you start stepping into your purpose, the moment you start walking in faith, resistance shows up. It tries to shake your confidence. It tries to make you doubt yourself. It tries to convince you that all the work, all the effort, all the sacrifice has been for nothing. But that's just a distraction. That's just the enemy's last attempt to make you quit before you cross over into breakthrough. Look at childbirth. Right before the baby is born, the mother experiences the most intense pain. It's called transition, the final stage of labor, where everything in her body is pushing, stretching, and preparing for delivery. It's the hardest moment, but it's also the closest moment to new life. If she didn't understand what was happening, she might think the pain meant something was wrong. She might think she wasn't strong enough to handle it. But the pain isn't a signal to stop, it's a signal that the promise is seconds away from being delivered. That's exactly how breakthrough works. Right before you step into a new level, right before you see the results you've been working for, right before the doors open, things get harder. The pressure increases. The frustration builds. The obstacles seem bigger. And if you don't know what's happening, you might think it's a sign to turn back. But the truth is, the battle always intensifies right before the breakthrough. Look at history. Every major movement, every revolutionary change, every groundbreaking success was met with fierce resistance right before the shift happened. The civil rights movement faced its most violent opposition right before laws changed. Businesses that went on to become empires had moments where they almost collapsed before their breakthrough. Leaders who changed the world had seasons where they thought about quitting before their greatest victories. Because breakthrough is always on the other side of the battle. But here's the key: you can't just wait for the battle to end. You have to fight through it. You have to press forward when you feel like giving up. You have to push when everything in you wants to stop. Because the breakthrough isn't going to come to you, you have to go to it. Too many people stop right at the edge. They let fatigue convince them they've gone far enough. They let discouragement tell them it's not working. They let fear make them back down. But the people who break through, they push a little further. They fight a little harder. They refuse to let the battle define them because they know that on the other side is everything they've been working for. And that's why the battle is necessary. It's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you. It's there to make sure you're strong enough, disciplined enough, and determined enough to handle the breakthrough when it comes. Because a victory that comes too easily won't be valued. A success that isn't earned won't be sustained. But when you fight for it, When you push through every challenge, when you stand in the fire and refuse to back down, you don't just win, you become the kind of person who keeps winning.